The case of the cunning criminal. A jewelry store is robbed of its most expensive items, and the thief leaves no trace behind. Detective Miller is assigned to investigate the case. Miller finds out that no alarms were triggered and the security camera footage was erased. Miller discovers that the store clerk had reported suspicious activity before the robbery. Miller learns that the jewelry store owner, Mr. Wilson, had recently taken out a massive insurance policy on his business. Miller starts to suspect Mr. Wilson of staging the robbery to collect insurance money. Miller also discovers that one of Mr. Wilson's former employees, Mr. Thomson, had been fired soon before the incident. Miller questions Mr. Thomson, who denies any involvement in the robbery. Miller finds the lock-breaking tool at a pawnshop and tracks down the seller, Mr. Jenkins. Miller learns that Mr. Jenkins had sold the device to a man matching the description of Mr. Thomson. Miller finds a hidden camera at the jewelry store that has footage of the robbery. Miller recognizes one of the gang members from the camera footage. Miller suspects that Mr. Thomson may have been working with the gang, but Mr. Thomson still denies his involvement. Miller also discovers that Mr. Thomson had purchased a new car right after the robbery. Miller finds the stolen jewelry in Mr. Thomson's possession and arrests him for the robbery. Miller realizes that Mr. Thomson had worked with a gang and decides to track them down. Miller learns that the gang is planning another robbery in the area. Miller intercepts the gang while they were casing a new store and arrests them. Mr. Wilson, who was not involved in the conspiracy, was grateful for Miller's work and rewarded him for arresting cunning criminal Thomson. Miller is assigned to another high-profile case, which promises to be significantly more challenging.